Good morning to DX Talks. I think this will be episode 229. So we're back for another exclusive interview with key leaders in the digital space, trying to change how the digital is really helping people or changing lives. And this is what we believe in. The future of digital is digital leaders. Today, I'm joined with Mr. Jonathan Hassan and as a CEO, and Lara Varajabdian. Both of them are co-founders of UBQT. Let's have them say hi and roll and try to understand more what is UBQT. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't know where you are, depending in which region. This is the beauty of the world today, more to any geographical location where you can operate and then try to be there. But I know some of you are in Dubai, so or both of you in Dubai in that specific moment. I'm not sure, but this is where the operation starts, and this is where you are trying to take the world. So I'll leave it to you to introduce yourself more, and then we'll take it from there.
Sure. Thank you so much, Rudy. And we're super happy to be here with you today for episode 229. Very honored. So we're both in Dubai, by the way, today. And we both chose Dubai to start our business. Just to give you a bit of my background, I used to be 13 years in insurance across continents. I had the chance to live in different places. And I've been now in Dubai for the past 3 years. I've been in the ecosystem of startups in the past, I would say 6, 7 years, as a consultant, as an advisor, as a board member, and now I'm happily the co-founder of UBQT.
Yeah, great.
Hi, Rudy. Thank you very much for having us. Oh, sorry. Thank you very much for having us on the show. And on that note, congratulations for the show's success. Very, very impressive and a blessing to be here today. In a nutshell, myself, having quite a similar journey to Lara. So I was born in Brussels. I grew up in Africa, as Lara did. Spent a bit of time then in Northern Europe, where I pursued my studies. Again, as Lara did, this is when we met if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in the 80s. That'll enable
Don't
you to
go
guess.
into dates. Don't go into dates.
Well, that will enable you to guess or young age, if I may add. We then both decided to venture to the Far East. Lara in Hong Kong, myself in Shanghai. Excuse me, where I lived for about 17 years. I had a career in both import-export, a company that we sold. I had also a decade in travel and bespoke services and whatnot, then moved back to Belgium very briefly. Quite coincidentally, I entered the world of startups as an investor, early stage disruptive tech, did a bit of ed tech, HR tech, etc. Whilst Belgium is a beautiful, beautiful place, we decided to move again, the family and myself, and settle down in Dubai, where we are now.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of exposing yourself to the world. I share with you some of the locations between Africa and the Middle East. So it's really interesting. All of that, I think it enriches us to get a different culture, not background, but it has something into our characters and so many other things. And then even going to the east or west or whatever, very interesting. That gets you maybe your in your DNA to move the world or to create something better or to understand better the world. I don't know. I'm not sure part of the philosophy, but that's what I see. So thank you again, and again, welcome on board.
Thank you.
I'd like you to share the story of how UBQT came to be, and how was the idea sparked. I don't know if you can help us understand this early beginnings and try to take it from there. And then later on, we'll try to understand even more what is UBQT.
Absolutely. But allow me to take a small step back in regards to what you said about the enriching experience of living in multiple places, multiple countries, multiple continents. What it does to you is that it makes you a global citizen, and it enables you to learn about other cultures and whatnot, and it enables you to embrace, I would say, differences. So I, growing up in Kinshasa, the DRC today, back then the former Zaire, friends came from everywhere, from Lebanon to Pakistan to India, um, of course, Americans, some Europeans, the occasional Chinese, etc. And it was beautiful. It was enriching. It was inspiring. And for us, it was perfectly normal to be amongst all these, these people with different backgrounds, and it promoted tolerance in a very similar way to what Dubai and the UAE is today, which is unbelievably extraordinary. I mean, where in the world can you actually be on a beach playing beach volleyball, and you'll have on the same team a Ukrainian and a Russian, a Jew and an Arab, a Chinese and a Japanese, and everyone's playing together in harmony. And then everyone will finish the game and then maybe grab a bite, etc. So this is truly magical. And this is the way that the world should be functioning. In regards to your question, and apologies for digressing a little bit. So how did Ubiquity come to being? So Lara and I, we've been blessed again with having lived in so many different places, having contacts that are spanning all over the world. And over the years, we found that it was more and more challenging for us to know who is where and when. And oftentimes we would find ourselves in a location, and then only we will learn a couple of days, weeks, months later that somebody whom we knew, a friend, a business contact, was at that same place as us, and we missed the opportunity to basically reconnect to them in real life. And this is the story of Ubiquity, and this is the story of Lara and myself. Lara moved to Dubai a couple of months before I did. We both were here for a year without knowing that we were respectively living in the same city And it is only through a mutual friend of ours in Belgium over the summer who told me that Lara was also living in Dubai. I had to research her on LinkedIn, if I'm not mistaken, sent her a message. She gave me her mobile number. With the mobile number, I WhatsApped her, and then we finally got to reconnect in real life. And that's how Ubiquity came along, to solve the specific pain points.
Yeah,
Lara.
interesting.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to this because we're very, very lucky in our journey is that we have someone amazing called Robin Dunbar. He's a very renowned Oxford University professor, anthropologist, psychologist, and who has studied like primate behavior and human behavior. And when he was like, the first time I actually mentioned him in one of my articles, he was saying that the feeling we have when we meet back again someone that has the same exposure to multiple cultures is like the feeling of coming home. And that's what I think it makes when we meet people from the same DNA, as you mentioned, Rudy, the DNA of people, of global citizens. When we meet each other, we'll feel like we're coming home. And I think that's also what Dubai created for us, is that having that multicultural place felt like home in a second to me. And that's I think we know that as Jonathan was mentioning, that our early adopters of Ubiquity are going to be the global citizens, because they will understand the pain points that we're fixing. Of course, then all the rest are welcome in our platform, but the Ubiquity DNA at the moment is very much people that understand, having like personal and professional networks scattered around the world. That is actually your tribe that you have created over the years, and that you basically can, stay connected to those meaningful connections you have created over the years.
Yeah, indeed. Being in Dubai, it's such a busy city. And then I'll take 2 weeks ago what happened with they called it the token 2049, regardless of the naming. But the week of that token 2049 was like a mess. I had on my agenda maybe 400 events. But I'm not talking about the events. I'm talking about the amount of people that are there that I probably missed. And I'm sure here you're on a mission to truly reconnect those where I missed myself maybe tens or maybe even more. So, what does it really mean reconnecting? And what does it really mean as a mission part of UBQT?
100%. So look, it's exactly what we live every day here, indeed, because we're lucky to live in Dubai, to be a little bit, if we may say, in the center of the world, because we're between east and west, and also Dubai is a great place where many conferences happen. So indeed, a lot of people come. And Rudy, I had the exact same situation only last week, where I actually even posted about this, is that all those people that come for, I don't know, the Dubai World Insurance Conference, for Arabian travel market, and so on. Like it's nonstop. It's always happening. Dubai is a city that is always happening. So we have the chance by living here to have a lot of our people from our tribe to stop by. And what happens to me is that people usually contact me first on maybe LinkedIn, because we're talking about, let's say, my professional network, and they say, oh, I might be in Dubai in May from that day to that day, or I'm not sure yet, but I might be here in April. And the thing is, what I tell them is, please download the app, put your dates, and if I'm there at the same time, send me a catch up and we can catch up in real life. So it's really, because otherwise what happens is that from LinkedIn we move to WhatsApp. From WhatsApp we have to share then emails, so we can basically send each other a calendar invite. While here, the whole purpose of Ubiquity is to cut the noise, speed up the process, and you put your dates. I might be maybe during those days somewhere else. Maybe I'm not in Dubai those days. So if I am in Dubai as well at the same time, the purpose is to, Ubiquity will tell you, you will be near Lara soon. You can send me a catch-up request. It goes to my calendar, because what we do is sync calendars only on one way. Goes to my calendar, and then I don't have to worry anymore. Don't have to remember, this person told me on LinkedIn that this, this person sent me a messenger saying that, or etc., etc. It's just like really one place to centralize every catch-ups in real life, because we're about human connections. Jonathan, please.
Yes. So basically, what we've done is we've built an efficient digital companion. Ultimately, that's what Ubiquity is. We've steered away from all the noise, so you wouldn't find what you would typically find on other social media platforms. So there are no likes, no selfies, no followers, none of these functionalities. We've really applied digital minimalism is what we've done. And within the process, we enable you to save time, which is a very valuable commodity, not to say the most valuable one that we are born with. And ultimately, the objective of the app Ubiquity is to seamlessly and efficiently reconnect you to your tribe in real life. So in a long nutshell, that's what we are. And obviously with the philosophy of less screen time and more lifetime. We don't want you to be spending endless minutes, not to say hours, on the app. That's not the purpose. We want you just to reconnect with your tribe.
Indeed. And what makes you different or unique, or what stands out in your platform versus others who is somehow trying to do the same, or maybe byproduct of theirs is somehow not similar, but you get me?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So first of all, the social media today has become pretty much just about media, and there isn't much social left in the equation, if I may say. So our mission at Ubiquity is to back that social element to the equation. Something that, if I may humbly say, I believe have been able to do so far. I would say another differentiator for us is that, as Lara said earlier in the conversation, we're bringing back, or sorry, we're putting together, combining both your personal and your professional networks. So typically today, you may be on various platforms, your contacts are diluted amongst all of them. And it's not really practical. You may use LinkedIn, which is a wonderful platform, don't get me wrong. I personally use it on a regular basis, but you may have X number of contacts on LinkedIn and then use Insta for something else and then have Facebook and so on and so forth. So actually, it's quite inefficient. So we're bringing your tribe. Again, your tribe, as Laura pointed out, is a handful of individuals. Ideally, typically, according to Dunbar's number, is 150 people. If you're a social animal, that can go up to 250 people. After that, you start being diluted. And the idea here is for you to stay connected and reconnect with your tribe. Now, you may have, several hundreds or even thousands of contacts, followers, call them whatever you want, on another platform. I may have 1,500 on LinkedIn. And believe me, half of them I've never met. So talking about dilution, there you go. So these are two differentiators. I would say the third one is in regards to privacy. So whatever you will add to the app in terms of, say, you will add a trip, you decide ultimately who sees that information. You're able to select the group that will see it. It may be family, it may be business contacts, it may be just your bubble or your friends. And so we're really keeping it private. Lara, please.
Yeah. So yeah, this categorizing, basically, if I may say, even if it's like not a very nice word, but you can tag every of your contact on Ubiquity, and they can be tagged multiple tags. Let's say one person is actually part of your professional network, but is also a friend. So you can tag those people friends and business. And the thing is that why we wanted to do this is because we believe that the reasons why maybe other platforms maybe haven't been able to bring seamlessly professional and personal at the same time is because, the way of, being able to categorize, like, say, people on the privacy side. And if you can stay very private, so no map, for instance, is for a very good purpose. We could have done a map, but who wants to be seen on a map? You see, you wouldn't necessarily want your professional network to know exactly where you are now. So the whole purpose is to be able to put, the different category of people that can see your trips or your catch me status, and we're going to come back to that. Is for a specific reason of making it private and allowing, this reconnection with your tribe more, let's say, seamless. Again, it's all about your meaningful connections in any ways. But it's just, if I want to send like what's called a catch me status in the weekend and say, hey, catch me at somewhere in West Palm Beach, one of those places, it's not necessarily for my professional network. But if I am, in DIFC, and I know as a fact that at the same moment in DIFC, I have probably 50 people, if not more, that I know that are in DIFC at the same time that I am. And if I have like 2 hours between meetings and I'm at, I don't know, I give an example, Café Batil, I can say, catch me at Café Batil for the next 2 hours. And any one of my network can come and pass by and say hi and have a coffee with me. Otherwise, I will just be there anyway, working and waiting for my next meeting.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to understand next is how does it actually work? How, managing busy schedule is a mess. At least I talk about my schedule. If you want to see it, it's like, I really knit it very carefully for it to be something. And then so many unexpected things happen in between. And this is what I don't like. I'm not able to manage those unexpected things. and I like to meet people, but it's not really organized in a way where things happen on the ground. I like to have it of more organized, and managing busy schedules is really a challenge. And how does walk me through, if you want, a little bit, how does it make it easier for users to find and connect? And can you walk us a little bit in the process of how using Ubiquiti, how does it really work?
Happily.
Jonathan.
Okay, happily. So the first functionality, the one that you would find at the very top of the app, is what we've coined as a catch me status. And this enables you to broadcast um, over the next 24 hours. And Lara gave an example. Maybe you're in a specific location. You're at Surf Cafe in Dubai. You may be there now, or you may be going there in 2 hours, and you'll spend, say, the afternoon there. And the idea is then to post status, catch me at Surf Cafe from 2 to 5 p.m. And basically, whoever is available and within that proximity in your contacts, so again, this is you and your network, you will select who sees that information per se. And with just one click, I'll join you there. And so what we've done with this functionality is we're encouraging spontaneous socializing. That's what it is, in a very simple way. The second functionality isn't groundbreaking, but it is in the way that we have that we're presenting it, if I may say. It's to know who of your network is near you now. Now you have a variety of other apps. Snapchat is one of them that has an interactive map, and it's beautifully well done. Of course, you see people moving on the app. Maybe somebody is going to play tennis. You see them with a tennis racket, and it's all fun and games. But as we said earlier on, we respect your privacy, and we respect our privacy as well. And so what we've done instead is we've used a radius function from 10 kilometers all the way up to 200 kilometers. There's a reason for the 200. And when somebody is within that radius, you're notified with, again, a call to action, which is to catch up in person with that person. So that's the second one. The third one is groundbreaking. It's to know who will be near you soon. Now, soon may be tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Let me further explain. You have the possibility in the app to add a trip. Let's say I will add a trip to New York next month. Now, all my contacts who are in New York, as in living in New York, as well as all my contacts all around the world who will potentially be in New York over the same dates as I will be notified accordingly, again with the same call to action, book a catch-up in person. And there is no other app so far, to our knowledge, that enables you to have access to such information. And again, the whole idea is for you not to miss out on somebody that you care for, that you love, family, friends, former colleagues, etc. So you don't necessarily have a lot of opportunities to reconnect in person with these people. So why miss the chance when you actually do? And then we're working on a variety of other subtle functionalities. We'll be incorporating AI by the end of the year, as well as perhaps a little bit of gamification, but we can come back to that later. And we'll make all of this even more efficient than the way that it actually is. For example, you are in downtown right now. I may be on the Palm. We both have our preferences in terms of cuisine or where we like to have coffee, etc. And so what the app ultimately will be doing is, in the context of a catch-up, it will actually suggest where to meet, and the suggestions will be based on our respective locations. It will take into consideration the traffic situation at the moment that we wish to meet. It will suggest perhaps a time if there is a better time, and so on and so forth. So we're working on all these, alternative, innovative features.
Yeah. Just to add to what also Rudy you were saying, you don't like surprises. So basically that's exactly what helps. Instead of getting to know last minute who's going to be near you in Dubai because of those conferences you said so many people are around and you don't know about it and so on. Hence why actually the near you soon feature is really great in order to organize your catch-ups in advance. And hence why as well, when I was telling you that people like contact me and say, hey, I might be in Dubai from this day to this day, it's so much you have to be so like it's so much work and time to get those catch-ups done, like to have them on your calendar. While here really the whole purpose is to organize your calendar in advance, leave it as well some you have also space and opportunity for spontaneity, of course, as we were saying with the catch me status. But really the whole idea is let's not miss each other if we're going to be near each other soon. So that's also the whole purpose of better organizing. And going back to how we're going to use AI, it's definitely the key feature here is to optimize your in-person catch-ups, to optimize time, and to nurture your meaningful connections. Going back to social media and how you increasingly have more and more connections that of people that also you don't know or you never met, which is great. Sometimes some of them are actually the people you need to talk to 100%. But what I mean is like all this dilution makes that your meaningful connections, someone you would very much enjoy to have a coffee with if that person is passing by Dubai and that you haven't seen for like 5 years, 10 years, someone with who you have a story, you shared a story, you shared beautiful moments. And this is the whole purpose, is to give the opportunity, the chance to recreate those moments, and also to organize it in advance rather than leaving it to chance of a post that you see by chance on Instagram while scrolling that this person put a Dubai landscape. It means this person is here.
That's
Rather
how I catch them.
Exactly, but it means scrolling all day, and we're all about less screen time, more lifetime,
Yeah.
and and there are more efficient way to get to know who is there rather than staying all the time in touch. You get notified, and you don't have to open the app even. You get notified, and then and then you just book the catch up. You don't have to stay online all day and guess who's around.
Yeah. And that takes me to the end user or the people that's using it. Any feedback was given from those users, any success stories where it was kind of they shared good stories, because in the end of the day it is about a good story, and any feedback that really shaped maybe the evolution or feedback in terms of features, in terms of the evolution of UBQT.
Yeah.
So how about a great one, and a surprising one, this early into the story of Ubiquity. So we approached a potential angel investor. We're now in the context of finalizing our pre-seed round, and this potential angel investor, instead of responding whether or not he wanted to perhaps invest, wanted to buy us out. So I guess we must be doing something right. Obviously, we're not for sale. But coming back to the core of your question, yes, some of the beautiful stories that we're having are basically people, thanks to the Ubiquity app, learning that they're in the same place or will be soon in the same place, and being able to arrange this catch up. And without that, they wouldn't have found out. And I'm an example of this. Just last week, or was it the week before, a childhood friend of mine from Africa, and she was passing by the UAE. She added her trip to Abu Dhabi. I obviously had no idea she was coming, and thanks to her adding the trip, I was notified accordingly. Unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to meet in person because our busy schedules didn't enable that. But we were able to jump on a 30-minute call. I hadn't spoken to her in a year and a half, perhaps more. And it was wonderful. We had a beautiful 30 minutes. Obviously, we would have preferred to reconnect in real life, but at least we reconnected. And we have many, many such stories.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
really interesting.
maybe, yeah, maybe if I may add. So going back to the Ubiquity DNA and the global citizens. So obviously, all our early adopters, as I was saying, have this DNA, and they're all from everywhere in the world. And sometimes I have like, voice notes from a friend brushing his teeth in Hong Kong and saying, by the way, you should add this and that on Ubiquity. And then another friend that is flying from San Francisco to New York and say, by the way, you should do XYZ on Ubiquity. And so hence, I think we're trying so much to fix a pain point that is so similar to us and all our tribe, that all our tribe is kind of participating to improving the app and bringing more features and so on and so on. So it's really like, I would say, already a Ubiquity community that is supporting us in giving feedback and so on. So to go back to what you're saying, it's a whole type of people like with a certain DNA that are see the need. And even some of them told me, oh, I had the same idea one day. I was wishing an app like this was existing, and here we are, trying to build this for all the global citizens and the people from the what we call the diaspora, by the way, that is only made of 281 million people in the world that are born somewhere, studied somewhere else, working somewhere else. So we're actually many more than what we think we are.
Yeah, that's a new citizenship. I think
Exactly.
that's yeah, true.
Exactly.
So I think you learned a lot, not with this, of course, only, but throughout your journey as a serial entrepreneur also. And then maybe, Jonathan, back then the word entrepreneur was not that famous word as of today, and the world of startups, things has changed.
Mhm.
Um, any key lessons, from different ventures or previous ventures? You said you did an exit that really helped, the development and the launch of Ubiquity. I'm taking it. This is we're winding to our last 5 minutes, so uh, it's really amazing. I'd like to spend more time on this. I love it.
Thank you, Rudy. Look, then I'll make it very short, given the lack of time remaining, and thank you again for having us on the show. I would say patience is definitely a key. Rome wasn't built in a day, so take your time, do things right. Perseverance, without any doubt, it's a bumpy ride, and whilst being an entrepreneur today, you're right, it wasn't necessarily the case back then. Today, it has a glamorous connotation to it, and thank you. Many people are going to hopefully see this talk and find it fun and interesting and inspiring. But not every day is a walk in the park. Quite the contrary. Um, it's a bumpy road. It can be very bumpy and slippery, but it's extraordinary. And I would say, if there's one lesson that I've learned from my past experiences, is put your ego to the side, surround yourself with the best, and listen to them, listen and learn, and grow, and enjoy the journey.
Yeah, I'll give the last question to Lara, if you don't mind. So that way we can uh, really understand what's next, or looking ahead. What's your inspiration for Ubiquity in both terms of growth, impact, fostering these human connections that are increasingly important and happening in the digital world?
Yeah. So that's a very big question, really. So what I would say is that we wish to really make an impact because we're, for instance, going to use AI, but for human connection. We're using tech, but for human connection. We're using an app, but for human connection. So what we really love is, the idea of having more and more people, joining our journey. Going back to what Jonathan was saying is like, we also did something is that we started with the product we had, and it's going to be a long journey because we're going to improve so much ubiquity over the months that are coming, and it's going to become more and more transformational for your everyday life. And we really hope we can make an impact, not only you on your individual life of how you can manage your social, professional relationships and in-person catch-ups, but also as in general have an impact of being this type of social app that is not about media, although media is great, of course, but bringing really back the human connections that we kind of are losing more and more by the day. And so we hope to bring everyone on this great journey.
I will end with what you said in the last part. You're because you are swimming against the odds or swimming against the traditional ways, if I want to call it, of doing things, where everyone is going trying to be social, more social. In reality, social is becoming disconnected, where in reality, bringing that social aspect back into real life, I think this is what the essence of what you are doing. So, any last words before we end this episode, Jonathan and Lara?
Lara, please.
I just wanted to say thank you very much, Rudy. It has been an absolute pleasure. And thank you for, having us on the show. And it was a very exciting experience for us. Yeah.
I couldn't
Jonathan?
have said that better. I couldn't have said that better. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you for your time and for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm waiting for my next notification on Ubiquiti. So I love, that secret notification. Not secret, but I'm waiting for that. That time it is gonna ring. I'm eagerly waiting for it.
We call it the aha moment, by the
Uh-huh.
way, and we are hoping every user gets this aha moment of ubiquity. And I just want to say also maybe one more thing is that every download of the app, it's 1 dirham that goes to Al Jaila Foundation Child Fund via Yalla Give. And so, yeah, we just wanted to
Yeah.
say that we're trying to do
So,
good things.
so please
That's
start
great. How
downloading.
can they get it? What website? Do you mind sharing your socials also so that we end with that note?
Yeah, so the Ubiquity app is on all the stores, on Apple Store and on Google Play. Our socials are Join Ubiquity, and every single person that downloads, it's 1 dirham for Al Jala Foundation Child Fund, and yeah, so that's maybe worth mentioning.
No, it is. I'm gonna put it in the description below as we speak, and it's gonna be later on displayed in the description and everything related to it. So make sure to check below. Actually, it's here. This is joinubiquity.com. I'm really happy about Jonathan Hassan, co-founder and CEO, and Mrs. Lara Varja Bedian, co-founder of Ubiquity. Both of you are doing amazing, reconnecting us to reality, to the real world, where I think nothing beats today a real connection, sitting together, having maybe to eat or just shake hands. Nothing beats that in whatever. We experienced it in COVID times. I think in the beginning it was an amazing thing, but as you move on, you discover it's not. It's going back to the original roots of things and then reconnecting and sharing physical experiences. With that, I really like to thank our viewers for tuning in. You can watch it here, share it. Please like and share on YouTube and other platforms, on LinkedIn and other things. And browse other episodes. There's a lot of content from such great leaders Until next time, please stay tuned.